Hold up.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Foxy298 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on my channel. Today, as you can see on your screens, we've got a little bit of a present for this Brazilian Grand Prix, which is going to be round 20 of my F1 2016 career mode, and that was a sponsor bonus of 400 extra resource points, which I thought was very, very kind. But if you do enjoy today's video, drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new around here. Just wanted to quickly apologise for yesterday's video, with it being my fault that I recorded my voice audio through the wrong setting, basically. When I did my recordings out when I was away in Spain, I stated my voice would sound funny because I used that same setting to record yesterday's video, because unfortunately my Blue Snowball microphone, which I'm using right now, was not fully plugged in. Even though the light was on to say that it was functioning, it wasn't fully plugged in and it wasn't going to work. So that's my bad, but we fixed it now for today's episode, and we can get cracking. So in the previous race in Mexico, we finished third after the two Mercedes drivers were just simply too quick for us, especially on those long back straights. There was nothing we could do about it. So you can see there how we've literally just been getting so many good results from McLaren recently. But we start things off with the track acclimatization test, and you can see that we've actually got one green, the rest of the lap was purple, so we did really well to get around there and complete that in a good time. Next up is the tyre wear test, and we absolutely smashed that as well with a full set of purples, a full house, giving us maximum resource points. And then again for the tyre, no, this isn't the tyre wear test, Tom, you retard. This is the hot lap. You can see there that we came through on our qualifying simulation run and got the target completed that the team wanted from us. And that was it for practice. Very decent practice session from us indeed. And of course, we're going to be looking to try and outscore our title rival Lewis Hamilton in this race, because he is the closest person to us. And hopefully we can try and move forwards, and you can see all the resource points stacking up as they have been throughout the previous few races. But again, listening to the voicemail from Emma, she's just going to give us the casual details, you know, hi, how are you? I've just got all your race objectives and your qualifying goals. Not race objectives because we're not in the race yet. And there's my qualifying goals, and that's kind of it, really. We start things off with Q1, and you can see coming straight through the final corner. I'm having so much trouble. It was full wet conditions, and we came through. We still smashed the fastest lap in Q1, but yeah, very difficult conditions. It was full wet conditions. It eventually changed to the intermediate conditions, and I just got through on the wet tyres. But look at that. Raikkonen, Hamilton and Verstappen all out in Q1. They didn't set a lap on the intermediate tyres. I didn't set a lap on the intermediate tyres either, but luckily my lap time was fast enough to get through, because that was a really nervy qualifying session, so nearly getting eliminated. But into Q2 we go, and we set a lap on the intermediate tyres. It changed to dries, and a lot of people set their times on soft tyres, but we came through. But this time Vettel, Massa and Bottas are all out of qualifying. So this has been a crazy qualifying session, the craziest qualifying session yet. So much going on, so much drama, and such a weird top 10. And we're coming around now in Q3, where eventually the track dried out, and we come sprinting towards the line now. You can see we're coming towards the line as we see it now, and we have managed to qualify third, about 6/10 slower than Daniel Ricciardo's Red Bull. And that was it for qualifying. I forgot to show the full top 10 classification, but you'll see it when David Croft and Anthony Davidson start talking. But we managed to out-qualify Hamilton, and we believe we start 5th in the end with that. But yeah, Hamilton starts 17th. We're going to be starting 5th, and that is awesome for the title challenge, with us being 4 points clear in this championship. So Emma's going to give us the session goals for the race, as she always does, via the voicemail. And there it is, guys. So Hamilton starts 17th, we start 5th. We got the advantage after the crazy qualifying session. Let's get into the race for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
As surely as the sun rises in the morning, the Brazilian Grand Prix packs out the grandstands and creates incredible drama. Title deciders, heartbreak, triumph and home glory. All these and more can be found in abundance here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. Two very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the two DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. With so much on the line here today, I can't help but shake the feeling that we're going to have a bit of pushing and shoving, Anthony Davidson, especially into turn 1 this afternoon.
Well, we do see a fair amount of that here at Interlagos, Crofty. It's a tricky braking zone, of course, as you're heading downhill into the centre S, which always makes it easy to lock the inside front and run a bit wide. We've seen a number of occasions over the years with someone from the leading group taking a bit of a knock on the first lap and having to recover. That's one of the reasons we've had so many exciting championship fights here. Hopefully, though, it'll be a clean start, of course, but as you say, I wouldn't be too surprised if it's not.
We've qualified above where we expected to be, so try your best to hold on to this position in the race.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Nico Rosberg will start his silver arrow from pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Button, Gutierrez, a McLaren, and Perez, Hulkenberg, Kvyat, Palmer, and Felipe Nasser, Vettel, Massa, Valtteri Bottas, and Grosjean, Haryanto, Ericsson, Kevin Magnussen, and Lewis Hamilton, Verstappen and Raikkonen, Carlos Sainz, and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Alright then guys, we're at the grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and after the 1.5 update actually came out on the Xbox, it finally came out on Xbox and PC, it showed me an introduction into the race strategy and all that stuff, which I didn't really care about. But as you can see, we've got a little bit of a change in the strategy. The team wants me to start onto the medium compound tyres and then make the switch to the to the soft tyres at the end of the race. So we're going to be going long on this first stint, and then we're going to be making a change to the fastest soft compound tyres at the end of the race. So an interesting strategy brought there by McLaren, but we're going to stick with it and we're going to see what we can do. So we're coming around to you on the formation lap. Don't worry, you're not going to see it all. Because there it is, it's actually gone now. So we finished the formation lap. We've got 3, 4, now 5 red lights for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And it is lights out and away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Gutierrez with a bit of a bad start. Jenson Button with a bit of a poor start himself. We're going to make our way past Gutierrez in fine form. We go round the outside of Button. A little bit of contact between me and Jenson. Nothing too major though. I have to go wide to give Jenson some space. That compromises my exit into turn 3. And Daniel Ricciardo now into third place. Sorry, not into third place. I'm into third place. Jenson Button, my teammate there, closed me down, but as we brake heavily down towards turn 4, you can see that we have managed to maintain position in P3. We started in 5th, got up to 3rd, and that's absolutely crucial. Points is everything that we're looking for right now, because we're trying to get past, we're trying to build ourselves a gap between me and Lewis Hamilton in the fight for the title. So any single positions that we can make up in this race, it's going to help us out. You can see we're already pressuring Daniel Ricciardo. Look to have a look there, but unfortunately he braked too early and I had to back out of my move. I was definitely extremely quick in the middle sector of this lap, but not in the first and final sectors, so we need to be wary of that. But coming now down towards the final corner here and making the uphill climb towards the pit straights, it's going to be difficult. But as you can see, Rosberg leads. I don't remember what tyre compound he's on. Daniel Ricciardo in front of us is on the hard tyres, so he's on a slower set, but you can see the McLaren Honda power versus the Renault engine just going to go swooping past the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, braking late into the inside into turn 1, and Daniel Ricciardo left for dust as we get straight past him. Rosberg is next on our hit list, but can we catch him? That's the main factor. But Daniel Ricciardo still looking to try and press us as we come down towards turn 4. Jenson Button, my teammate, getting a bit of a slipstream on Daniel Ricciardo, braking hard into turn 4. And that's all that happened there. So let's get a replay of that start. So you can see Rosberg gets a nice clean getaway. Ricciardo's is a little bit slow himself. My start was pretty good. I got past Gutierrez. I tried to get past Jenson Button clean, but it just didn't quite work out. You can see that Button was still on my inside, so I had to give him the room into the second corner. Really affected my entry and exit into turn 3, but we're going to have to work with that, and we did. Coming up towards turn 4 now, you can see Rosberg there, Ricciardo, myself, and Jenson. And then a little bit of a queue forming behind. I believe that's the Force India of Nico Hulkenberg. And in my career mode, as you may have been seeing a lot of the times, Force India are one of the slowest teams in my career mode. I think they're the 3rd slowest. So that's why there's already a big gap forming, because the Force India just is not quick in my career mode. Of course, in real F1 life, they're actually the they're the fifth fastest car because Williams overtook them after their performance in Singapore. But they're really up there in real life. But unfortunately, in my career mode, their development just hasn't been working well. And you can already see the top four pulling away. And you saw that at Ferrari as well, because the likes of Verstappen, Raikkonen, Vettel, Hamilton are all out of position in this Grand Prix. And they're going to be looking to try and make up places while we look to try and press forward in our advance. And Rosberg leads, Ricciardo second, myself in third, Jensen fourth. And you can see that he gets a good run on us, but we get a massive slipstream boost on Daniel Ricciardo. The Renault engine just not giving him any speed, and we brake nice and late down into turn 1, and you can see that we managed to get that position sorted. Daniel Ricciardo left for dust there as Jensen Button now looks to try and get a run on Daniel Ricciardo himself. You can see that he's looking to try and hunt him down, and as we come through towards down the back straight now towards turn 4, my teammate moves to the inside line into turn 4. We brake nice and late into turn 4, and Jensen Button there actually got past Daniel Ricciardo. You can see it just about there. Button got past Ricciardo, but we're skipping ahead now to lap 3 of the Grand Prix. My pursuit of Rosberg is continuing. Fastest lap of the race so far. We brake nice and late, but we go way too much into the corner. Lock up completely. My turn 2 entrance and turn 3 exit is all a scrap. And we lost a lot of time to Nico Rosberg, and Jensen Button feels like he wants to take my position after my poor mistake here. DRS activated for Jensen Button. He moves to the inside line, but we have DRS as well as him, and since he's not in the slipstream, he's just not going to benefit from all the speed. But we have the run on Rosberg, but we completely outbraked ourselves going into turn 1, and yeah, our lunge did not work this time, but we just need to continue our pursuit on Rosberg, and a virtual safety car has come out. This is the virtual safety car. If you guys are unaware, the virtual safety car was introduced last year as a measure after Jules Bianchi's crash in Suzuka, which has evidently turned to, unfortunately, his death. But the virtual safety car was introduced so that the drivers would stick to a specific delta, so that they can't go too fast, so incident like Jules Bianchi's can't happen. And something's gone on our track, and it's caused this virtual safety car to come out. So we got to stick to the delta time, and we just got to make sure that we don't go too fast or go quicker than the delta, because we will get a penalty if we do so. You get 15 seconds to go back into the delta. So yeah, this isn't like a safety car where it completely shuts down the race. But you can see the virtual safety car is ending, so whatever it was, it seems to have cleared up. But you can see that it's just basically it neutralizes the race without losing positions for everyone on track. But the DRS gets re-enabled because in my 25% career mode, it's basically it allows the DRS to come back on straight away, where normally you'd have to wait 3 laps. But we're coming around now towards this turn 4, and you can see we've got the DRS once again on Rosberg. We've been pressurizing Rosberg in this race. He's not pulled away from us, and he's on the same compound of tyre as us. Down into turn 4, we've definitely been getting an advantage. But now we skip ahead further on into the Grand Prix, and now we've got a much better run on Nico Rosberg, much quicker than I would have thought of. Down the main straight, we're going to go to the left-hand side of the circuit, giving us the inside into turn 1, braking hard into turn 1. Rosberg gets a good run on us. We get a good run on Nico Rosberg, but he has the inside line into turn 2. Forces us wide for turn 3. We completely cut the corner into turn 3. I slow right down, give that place back to Rosberg, because quite frankly, I cut that corner so badly, and it affected Rosberg so much, and we were told to get the place back. I've gone and given the place back, and now my attack on Rosberg is going to have to continue again. We can't afford to keep getting stuck behind Rosberg, because you can see that Jensen Button, my teammate, is fatiguing on us now as we look to really try and fight Rosberg as much as we can in this Grand Prix. And you can see going down into what is the middle sector, my strongest sector. I was the fastest man in the middle sector out of anybody. I was able to carry so much more speed, and I had such better traction. And you can see it here, my exit corner was amazing. I'm going to go down the inside of Nico Rosberg and take the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. A fantastic move down the inside. The traction that we had going through that middle sector was just insane, and we've had that all race long. And we get past Nico Rosberg, and we get into the lead of this Brazilian Grand Prix. Now we need to start thinking about trying to get a gap, but of course Rosberg is right behind us as he looks to try and avenge. But Rosberg actually comes into the pits anyway, so we don't need to worry about that. It's Jensen Button now that's going to have the DRS on us as we come storming down now towards turn 1, and Jensen Button is going to be the one who wants to pressurize us. I'm pretty sure, because Jensen Button's a bit of a cheeky one. But we're coming around now turn 3, and we get a little bit of a bad run. Jensen Button feels like he could get this one with DRS activated, slipstream on us as well. Down the inside into turn 4, we give him the space just about, but as you can see, we run wide on the exit of turn 4. That's really going to give Jensen Button a good chance. But skipping ahead to lap 10, same position, this time braking hard. We give the inside line to Jensen Button, and as you can see, coming through the exit of turn 4, Jensen takes the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. So a feisty Jenson Button in this race has gone and taken the lead from us, which is disappointing to say the least. Jenson was probably quicker than us. He wasn't necessarily quicker than us. It was when he gets into the slipstream. One big problem I do have with this game is the slipstream is so overpowered. It is completely crazy how the slipstream works in this game. But in the exact same place that we made the move on Nico Rosberg, we decided to go and make that same move on Jenson Button. But this time, unlike Nico Rosberg, Jenson Button knew that I was going to make that move and knew that was one of my overtaking spots and fended it off quite nicely as we now make the climb up the hill using the car into rich mixture. Daniel Ricciardo behind us on the hard tyres, so we don't want to make a big fuss of this one. And we have the DRS once again. Jenson Button leading the race. We're going to go to the inside line into turn 1. We haven't made this one stick a lot of the times, but we go around the inside, and for some reason Jenson just stops in the middle of the circuit, and I have to sort of stop my car as well to sort of creep around the inside line. He sort of just planted the car there and stopped as if he was like a bus stop or something. It was really random from Jenson. But skipping ahead now to lap 11 of the Grand Prix, we're going to be making our pit stop to go onto the soft tyres, which are going to give us a little bit of a chance to just blast it through to the end of the race. So you can see that we're coming in now. Our mechanics are waiting for us quite patiently over at our pit window there, and out we go for what is going to be our one and only stop in this race. I believe that was Rosberg going through into turn 1. Now, because Nico Rosberg pitted about 4 laps earlier than us, 4 to 5 laps earlier than us, he is going to have a massive undercut, and that is going to eventually give him the lead. You can see him, there is Nico Rosberg, but Rosberg is on the hard tyres, and we're on the soft tyres, so we have got 2 compounds faster in terms of tyres than Nico Rosberg. So our aim and objective now is to see if we have the pace on these soft tyres to catch Nico Rosberg, or was our engineer, did our engineer make a mistake, and that we should have probably gone from the mediums to the hard tyres and then done that for the race rather than going to the softs. But we'll just have to find out as we now come out through this final set of corners here in the middle sector. Our quickest part on the track, so hopefully we can try and catch up to Rosberg, but unfortunately, skipping ahead to lap 18 of the Grand Prix, the final lap of the race, Rosberg is still there. You can still see him. He's just gone through turn 4. Unfortunately, I just did not quite have the pace to match Nico Rosberg. Unfortunately, Rosberg was just too quick. As soon as he got out of that slipstream, it was kind of a bit lackadaisical for me. The main problem in my race was straight line speed. Nico Rosberg was so much faster than me. He had better traction than me coming out of in the first sector on that back straight towards turn 4. This middle sector that we're coming through now, I was so much faster than Rosberg. I was able to take about half a second out of Rosberg a lap. So the gap was about 2.5 seconds most of the time, and then I got it down to 2 seconds. I can't see what the gap is there. You can see the gap on your screens. And then when we come through this final sector here and then the first sector, the gap would already go back up to the half a second that I gained in the middle sector. So it was just impossible for me to try and catch Nico Rosberg with the lack of straight line speed. So there it is, guys. Nico Rosberg comes through and wins the race, but we take second place, which is absolutely fine. My teammate comes through and takes third place, so a very good result for McLaren. A double podium, which I think is the first time since Singapore when we got the 1-2 that both McLarens have been on the podium. But the big thing that is crucial is Lewis Hamilton loses points to us in this title race. We gained big points on Hamilton as we head to what is now going to be the title decider in Abu Dhabi. I can confirm that Hamilton is still in the title race for this championship. So the title will be decided in Abu Dhabi. You've got, I believe, I can't remember the championship standings, but there is Rosberg celebrating his win. He's on a bit of a roll now for Mercedes. He won in Mexico. He's won here in Brazil. And of course, he'd want to make that a hat-trick of wins in Abu Dhabi and cement himself as, you know, the man that was on form for the rest of the season. But there is Rosberg spraying the champagne, myself and Jenson spraying together. We don't want to go near Rosberg as Rosberg is just Nico and he's our rival. But overall there, you can see we're going to have some pictures taken. Look how sexy I look on the left there. But as you can see, Lewis Hamilton came through and finished 7th in the Brazilian Grand Prix. So a good recovery drive from 17th to finish 7th. But crucially, that's going to be a lot of championship points gained for us in our fight with Mercedes for this championship. So if you guys did enjoy today's race, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new around here. And yeah, we'll be looking to get the title decider, which will be tomorrow. You can see we've got a 16-point lead. We have to finish 5th or above in Abu Dhabi to win the race. Hamilton's got to win we've got to finish 5th or above to win the Drivers' Championship for McLaren Honda. The ultimate goal that we set ourselves for this career mode. If we do win this career mode, and win this championship, who knows what we will do in Season 2. But in the Constructors' standings, we're just about a point behind Red Bull. So the fight is there to get third in the Constructors' standings, and the fight is there for the win in the Drivers' standings. So it's all to play for McLaren. When we thought we were never going to win the Drivers' Championship, and when I said that our fight was with Williams in the championship, our run of form in the back end of this season has put us in contention. So guys, if you are excited, let me know that you're excited. We've got the title decider coming tomorrow. And as you can see, the rivalry, we beat Hamilton in the rivalry, I believe, with us setting everything quicker, apart from the final sector. And there we go, we won the rivalry. We actually won something. But guys, I will see you for tomorrow. I want to say tomorrow. I'm going to say tomorrow for what is going to be the Drivers' title decider. And also Friday night tomorrow, so I will be live streaming. So until then, guys, I'll see you then. Take care. Peace.